Cholesterol. You hear that word all the time, right? And it's almost always a warning. We think of it as this bad guy lurking in our food, the number on a lab report that our doctor circles in bright red. But here's the thing that might surprise you. What if I told you that without cholesterol, you literally wouldn't exist? That your body is actually a super sophisticated cholesterol-making factory, and for a really good reason. Today, we are going to crack the code on this biological puzzle. So what's the real story? Is cholesterol our friend, this essential part of us? Or is it the foe everyone makes it out to be? Well, the truth is, it's both. And it all comes down to balance, and maybe more importantly, a really complex delivery system. Okay, on one hand, cholesterol is an absolute hero. No question. It's the stuff that builds the walls of every single one of your cells. It's the starting block for crucial hormones like testosterone and estrogen and even vitamin D. Your body just flat out can't work without it. The problem, the villain side of the story, starts when the whole system gets overloaded. That's when this essential molecule starts getting dropped off where it doesn't belong, inside your arteries. And who's running this entire operation? Your liver. You've got to think of your liver as mission control. It's the command center that's constantly producing, packaging, and shipping out cholesterol to exactly where it needs to go. It's also in charge of cleanup. So let's think about this for a second. Cholesterol is a fatty, kind of waxy substance. Our blood is mostly water. You know what happens when you mix oil and water, right? It doesn't work. So how does cholesterol get around? Well, it needs a specialized transport network. Let's dive into the body's incredible delivery system. And that's where lipoproteins come in. These things are basically the cargo trucks of your circulatory system. They package up all the fats and cholesterol inside a protein shell, which lets them cruise through the bloodstream like a delivery fleet, making drop-offs all over the body. So let's meet the main players in this fleet. First up, you've got VLDL. Think of this as the big rig, the bulk hauler, carrying huge loads of fat from the liver out to the rest of the body. Then there's LDL, which is more like your local delivery van. Its job is to drop off that essential cholesterol to all your cells. And finally, you've got HDL. This is the garbage truck, and its job is absolutely critical. It goes around cleaning up any excess cholesterol and brings it back to the liver to be disposed of. Now, I know you've heard of bad cholesterol. That's LDL's nickname. But we just said its job is essential, right? So how on earth does this vital delivery van end up with such a terrible reputation? Well, we have to look at where it comes from. It all begins with that big VLDL truck leaving the liver, jam-packed with fats. As it makes its rounds, it drops off these fats to your muscles and tissues for energy or storage. With each drop-off, that big VLDL particle gets smaller and changes its form. After it's unloaded most of its fatty cargo, what's left is a much smaller, denser particle that's super rich in cholesterol. And that particle is LDL. And this is the point I really want you to get. LDL itself isn't bad. It's just a delivery van doing its job. The trouble really starts when you have a massive traffic jam, when there are way too many of these LDL delivery vans cruising around in your bloodstream with no place to go. So what happens when that delivery network just gets completely overwhelmed? This is where the story takes a really dark turn. This is how plaque gets made. Okay, so picture it. You've got this huge oversupply of LDL particles, and they're just clogging up your arterial highways. They start to get stuck. They squeeze into the lining of your arteries where they can get damaged, or what we call oxidized. It's kind of like a delivery van getting a flat tire and then crashing right into the guardrail. Now, your body is smart. It sees this as an injury, so it sends in the emergency crew, your immune system. But here's the crazy part. This response, which is meant to help, actually creates inflammation, which just makes the whole situation stickier and way more chaotic. These immune cells, called macrophages, show up and start doing what they do best, cleaning up the mess. They just start gobbling up all that damaged LDL. But they eat so much that they get bloated and turn into these things called foam cells. And it's these foam cells that are the main ingredient of the dangerous plaque that starts to build up inside your arteries. And this whole dangerous process has a name you've probably heard: atherosclerosis. It's the slow, quiet hardening and narrowing of your arteries. That plaque is like a car wreck that never gets cleared, and over time, it can block the entire highway. That's what leads to disasters like heart attacks and strokes. Okay, that all sounds pretty scary, I know. But here's the good news. The story does not have to end there. This is a system we can absolutely influence. We have really powerful ways to clear up that traffic, repair the highways, and take back control of our health. And before we even get into medicine, we have to talk about the foundation, which is always lifestyle. Simple things, like eating more soluble fiber from foods like oats and apples, getting healthy fats from avocados and olive oil, and of course, regular exercise. These things have a massive impact. They help lower the number of those LDL vans on the road and actually boost the number of HDL garbage trucks doing the cleanup. They are hands down the most powerful first-line tools we have. But sometimes lifestyle isn't enough, and that's where medications can help. The most famous ones are statins, and honestly, they work in a really genius way. They basically send a message to mission control, your liver, and tell it to just chill out on making so much cholesterol. So, the liver, sensing it's running low, does something brilliant. It builds more LDL receptors on its surface, think of them like new loading docks, to start pulling LDL directly out of the bloodstream. It's an amazing way to clear that traffic jam in your arteries. And statins aren't the only game in town. We have a whole toolkit now. There are drugs like ezetimibe that work in your gut to stop you from absorbing cholesterol from food in the first place. Then there are super powerful drugs called PCSK9 inhibitors that basically give your liver superpowers to clear out even more LDL. It just goes to show you there are a lot of different ways we can get this system back in balance. So the next time you look at your cholesterol numbers, I want you to see them differently. Don't just see a good number or a bad number. See them for what they really are. A detailed report on the state of your body's incredible, complex delivery system. It's your body sending you a message. The only question left is, are you ready to listen?